drink to someone, and I guess that you will do. A very merry birthday to you. A very merry birthday to us, a very merry birthday.
Oh, you wicked, wicked little thing. Really, Dinah ought to have taught you better manners. Now, if you'll only attend, Kitty, I'm going to tell you all your faults. Number 1, you squeaked twice this morning while Dinah was washing your face. Well, you can't deny it, Kitty. I heard you. And for number 2, you pulled Snowdrop away by the tail just as I'd set down a saucer of milk before her. As for number 3, you unwound every bit of worsted while I wasn't looking. That's 3 faults, Kitty, and you haven't been punished for any of them. I'm saving up all your punishments for Wednesday week, you know. Suppose they saved up all my punishments. What would they do at the end of the year? I should be sent to prison, I suppose, when the day came. Kitty, dear, can you play chess? Well, don't smile. I'm asking you seriously. Because when we played just earlier, you watched as if you understood it. And when I said check, you purred. Well, it was a nice check. And I might have won, too, if that nasty knight hadn't come wriggling down among my pieces. Kitty, dear, let's pretend that you're the Red Queen. You know, if you sat up and folded your arms right, I think you'd look just like her. Do try. Oh, that's a dear. Oh, but you're not folding your arms properly. I'll just hold you up to the looking glass and you can see how sulky you are. And if you're not good directly, I'll put you through into the looking glass house. Oh, Kitty, I wish there was a way we could get in somehow. I'm sure it's got such beautiful things in it. Kitty, dear, let's pretend that there is a way of getting in. Let's pretend that the glass has gone all soft like gauze. Why, I declare it's turning into a sort of mist now. It should be easy enough to get through. Oh, what fun it will be when they see me through the glass here but can't get at me. Well, it's all in some language I don't understand. It must be a looking glass book, of course. We'll just hold it up to the glass and see all the words go the right way. Jabberwocky. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the burrow groves and the mome raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the man's own foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree and stood while in thought. And as in offish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came riffling through the tuggly wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with his head he went gallumping back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, calloo, callay, he chortled with his joy. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the burrow groves and the mome raths outgrave. Well, it's very pretty, but, well, it's rather hard to understand. It seems to fill my head with ideas, only I'm not exactly sure what they are. However, somebody killed something. That's clear at any rate. Oh, what a lovely, lovely garden. How I should like to get out there among the bright flowers and cool fountains. Well, if my head would go through, it would be of very little use without my shoulders. I wish I could just shut up like a telescope. Things are so out of the way here, I think I ought to be able to if I only knew how to begin. Surely this wasn't here before. Drink me? Well, it's all very well to say drink me, but I'll check and see if it's marked poison first. For if a little girl drinks from a bottle marked poison, it's almost certain to disagree with her sooner or later. It's got a mixed flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. What a curious feeling. Why, I must be shutting up like a telescope. I am. It's like I'm going out altogether like a candle. The key. Come, there's no use crying like this. I advise you leave off this minute. Eat me? Well, I'll eat it, and if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key. And if it makes me grow smaller, I guess I'll just creep under the door. Either way, I'll get into the garden. Curiouser and curiouser. Oh, my. Oh no, the key! Stop this moment, I tell you. A great girl like you shouldn't go crying like this. Stop this moment. Oh, sir, if you please. Do come here. You rabbit. Oh, dear. How queer everything is today. And yesterday, things went on just as normal. I wonder if I've changed in the night. Well, I can almost remember feeling a little different this morning. But the next question is, if I'm not myself, who in the world am I? I can't be Mabel, for I know so many things, and she knows, oh, such a very little. I'll just try and remember the things I used. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little fishies in with gently smiling jaws. Oh dear, I'm sure those can't be the right words. I must be Mabel after all. Oh, good heavens, there's no more than 3 inches left of me. It must be this fan. Now for the garden. Oh, the key. Oh, dear, things are worse than ever. It's too bad that it is. Oh. Gosh, I wish I hadn't cried so much. I should be punished for it now, I suppose, by being drowned in my own tears. Would it be of any use now to speak to this mouse? Things are so out of the way here, I think it very likely it should talk. Oh, mouse, would you tell me the way out of this pool? I'm very tired of swimming about here. Oh, mouse. I believe that's the best way to address a mouse. I remember Brother's Latin grammar once said, a mouse of a mouse, to a mouse, oh mouse. Well, perhaps it doesn't understand English. I dare say it's a French mouse, come over with William the Conqueror. Oh, est méchette?
Oh, goodness me. Oh,
I beg your pardon. I quite forgot you don't like cats.
Would you like cats if you were me?
Well, perhaps not. But, I wish I could show you our Dinah. She's such a dear, quiet thing. I know you'd take a fancy to cats if you could only see her. And she's such a capital one for catching mice.
Oh, goodness.
I'm
my
so
word.
sorry. Do come back and we won't talk about her anymore.
Oh, we indeed. As if I would ever talk on such a subject. My family's always hated cats. Nasty, low, vulgar things. Don't mention them to me again.
I won't indeed. Are you fond of dogs? Oh, that's such a nice little dog I should like you to meet. It's a little bright-eyed terrier. It belongs to the farmer next door. He says it's so useful it's worth £100. He says it catches all the rats and...
Oh, wow, that's the last
I'm so
straw.
sorry. I'm afraid I've offended you again. Do do come back. We won't talk about cats or dogs either if you don't like them.
Let us go to shore, and I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is I hate cats and dogs. Now gather round, all of you. Listen to me. You'll soon be dry enough. Quick as you like. Come on now. Are you ready? This is the driest thing I know. William the Conqueror, whose cause was favored by the Pope, was submitted to by England, who wanted leaders, and had been much accustomed to conquest and usurpation. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria. I beg your pardon. Did you speak?
Not I.
I thought you did. I continue. Where was I? Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria, declared for him. And even Stygan, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable...
Found what?
Found it. Of course you know what it means.
Of course I know what it means well enough. When I find something, it's generally a frog or a worm. What did the Archbishop find?
Found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling to meet William. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the temperance of his Normans... how are you getting on now, my dear?
Oh, as wet as ever. Doesn't seem to dry me a bit.
Oh, well.
In that case, I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies.
Speak English. I don't know half of the words you're saying, and what's more is I don't think you do either.
What I was trying to say was that the best way to get us dry would be a caucus race.
Well, what is a caucus race?
Why, the best way to explain it is to do it. The exact shape doesn't matter.
Oh.
The race is over. Everyone has won, and all must have prizes.
Prizes? But who is to give the prizes?
Why, she, of course.
Oh, prizes? But she must have a prize herself, you know.
Oh, of course. What else do you have in your pockets?
Oh, only a thimble.
Hand it over. We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
Thank you. Now, you promised to tell me your history. Why does you hate C's and D's?
Mine is a long and sad tale.
Well, it's long, certainly, but why do you call it sad?
Fury said to a mouse that he met in the house, "Let us both go to law, I will prosecute you." Come, take no denial, we must have a trial, for really this morning I've nothing to do. Said the mouse to the cur, "Such a trial, dear sir, with no jury or judge, would be wasting our breath." "I'll be judge and I'll be jury," said cunning old Fury. "I'll try the whole cause and continue to death." "You are not attending."
Oh, I beg your pardon. You'd gotten to the fifth bend, I think.
I had not.
Oh, and not? Do let me help you undo it.
As if I'd ever do such a thing. My word, of all the things.
What a pity it wouldn't stay.
Well, I wish I had our Dinah here. She'd soon fetch it back.
And who is Dinah, if I might venture to ask the question?
Dinah's our cat. She's such a capital one for catching mice, you wouldn't think. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she'll eat a little bird as soon as you look at it.
Really must be going, but I dare doesn't suit my...
Oh, but please don't. I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah. Nobody here seems to like her, and, well, I'm sure she's the best cat. Oh, my dear Dinah, I wonder if I'll ever see you again. Oh, sir.
Marianne, what are you doing out here?
I-
Never mind. Quick now. Run home and fetch me a pair of gloves and a pail. Quick now.
Oh, well, he mistook me for his housemaid. How surprised he'll be when he finds out who I am. But I better get his fan and gloves to him. If I can find them, that is.
Who are you?
Well, I hardly know, sir, just at present. I knew who I was when I woke up this morning, but, oh, well, I must have changed several times since then.
And what do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, sir, because, well, I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
Well, I can't put it any more clearly, for I don't understand it myself to begin with, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't.
Perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but when you turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know. And then after that into a butterfly, I should think you'll find it very queer.
I won't.
Well, maybe your feelings are different. All I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
Oh,
Wait, come back. I have something important to say.
is that all?
No. So you think you're changed, do you?
I'm afraid I have. Well, I can't remember the things I used, and I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes together.
You say you can't remember? What things?
I tried to repeat how doth the little busy bee, but it came out all wrong.
Repeat. You are old, Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white. And yet you insistently stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it would injure my brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, the young man said, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than soot. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, his father replied, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words got altered.
It is wrong from beginning to end. Which size do you wish to be?
Oh, I'm not particular to size, only, well, one doesn't like changing so often, you know.
I don't know. Are you happy with the size you are now?
I should like to be a little taller. 3 inches is such a wretched height.
It is a very good height indeed.
Well, I'm not used to it.
You'll grow used to it in time. One side makes you grow shorter and the other taller.
Well, one side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
Oh, which is which?
An invitation from the Queen to the Duchess to play croquet.
For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. There's no use in your knocking, and that of 2 reasons. 1, because I'm on the same side door as you are, and secondly, they're making such a noise inside, nobody could possibly hear you.
Well, please, sir, how am I to get in?
I guess there would be some sense in your knocking. If we had a door between us, for instance, if you were inside, you could knock and I could let you outside, you know.
But how am I to get in?
I shall sit here until tomorrow. Or next day, maybe.
Well, but how am I to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question, you know.
It is dreadful how these creatures argue. It's enough to drive one crazy.
I shall sit here on and off for days and days.
Well, what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Well, there's no use talking to him. He's perfectly idiotic. There's certainly too much pepper in that soup. Oh, my. Would you tell me, please, why your cat grins like that?
Because it's a Cheshire cat, and that's why. Pig.
Well, I didn't know that Cheshire cats could grin. In fact, I didn't know cats could grin.
Well, all of them can, and most of them do.
I don't know any that do.
Well, you don't know much, clearly.
Oh, mind what you're doing? There goes his precious nose.
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a deal faster.
Which would not be an advantage. Oh, just think of the work it would make at the day and night. The world takes 24 hours to turn round on its axis.
You know, speaking of axis, chop off her head!
Or was it 12 hours?
Oh, don't bother me. I never could abide figures. I speak roughly to my boy. I beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. I speak severely to my boy. I beat him when he sneezes, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases. You know what? Here, you may nurse me a bit if you like, because I've got to go get ready to play croquet with the queen.
Well, if I don't take it, they'll surely kill it in a day or two. Wouldn't it be murder to leave it behind? Well, don't grunt. That's not at all the proper way of expressing yourself. Oh, if you're going to turn into a pig, I'll have nothing more to do with you. Oh, what am I to do with this dreadful creature when I get home? Oh, go off, you... Oh. Well, if that had grown up into a child, it would have been dreadfully ugly, but I suppose rather handsome pig. Oh, Cheshire Puss, would you tell me which way I ought to walk from here?
Well, that depends on a good deal of where you want to get to.
Well, I don't much care where.
Then it doesn't matter which way you walk.